Learn how to build an income bridge to early railroad retirement. Welcome everyone to another edition of the Highball Advisors Railroad Retirement Whiteboard. My name is John McNamara of Highball Advisors, and today we're going to talk about examples of railroaders. They might have their 30 years in their 50s, and they say to themselves, okay, I got my 30 years, I'm leaving. Oh, by the way, I don't have enough money yet to bridge those years till I get to 60 where I can collect my full railroad retirement annuity. So how can you get there? So there's a lot of different ways. I want to show you one way here called 72T. Now this is a very complicated and dangerous, I always say that from a tax perspective, right? Because there's some penalties and rules there. But there is a possibility for some railroaders to at least take a look at this. So I thought I'd walk through this here. So what I'm talking about is those who have tax-deferred accounts, 401ks and IRAs. There's 10% penalty if you take a withdrawal before 59 and a half. For certain 401ks, certain 401ks you can actually, if separation of service, you can take a 55. But for this example, let's just say 10% early penalty withdrawal for anything at 59 and a half. So you're saying to yourself, oh, geez, I got all this money tied up in my retirement account. I'm retired. I need to find a way to access this because I don't want to pay this 10% penalty. That's the purpose of 72T. All right, so what is it really, the definition? It's a series of substantially equal payments, 72T. It's basically an annuity to get you to railroad retirement, okay? Equal payments each year to get you through railroad retirement. So it's IRS rule for those scoring at home. Section 72T, subsection 4, subsection A. Okay, there you go. Now the rules are, okay, annual distributions for 5 years, right? You got to take it for 5 years or until 59 and a half, whichever is longer, okay, whichever is longer. So you know you're going to be taking it out for at least 5 years. So if you retire at 50, say I got my 30 years at 50, you're going to take it for 10 years. All right, so those are the type of things that you want to be thinking about. Now there's 3 methods, and I'm not going to get into the math of these methods, but there's 3 ways to 3 methods to show you how much you can take out each year without incurring the 10% penalty, right? So there's the RMD method, right? Requirements, amortization, and annuitization, right? Those are the 3 methods. You can drill down deeper on those with the IRS on those methods. Needless to say, they're there for you. All right, so let's just go through an example. This is a great way to learn how to do these things. So let's say a railroader is 50 years old and he's got his 30 years and he's leaving, right? And he's got $1 million in his 401k or IRA. I put IRA in this case, right? Now he's going to review, he's going to take that $1 million and crunch the 3 methods to see how much he can take out that's going to fit his lifestyle, right? You don't want to take out you might not need too much. So, and he might, might need a certain amount. So that's why you want to do all 3 methods and figure out which is the right amount of income that he needs. Maybe the spouse is still working, so he doesn't need as much money. So you want to figure that out. So in this example, right, he reviews it and says the amortization method is going to give him $60,000 a year, $60,312. And that's going to last him until he's 60. He's going to take those substantial equal payments until 60 for 10 years at $60,312. And then he's like, okay, great. Now I'm at railroad retirement. I've got that money coming in. All right, so now what does he got to look out for, right? Well, you got to be on guard for the pitfalls, that type of thing. That money gets taxed at ordinary income, right? So it's not tax-free distribution. This is going to get taxed. All right, so that's the first one. Now this one's very important. 10% penalty on all distributions if you missed one. So going back to this fella up here, let's say he's 57, he's been doing it every year, and then at 58 he missed it. I didn't do the payment, and 15. What? I don't need it anymore. Wrong. They go back and they're going to charge you that 10% penalty on his 50-year-old, 51, 52, 53. Oh my God. So that's 10% on this distribution every year, 6,000 times 7 years, that's $42,000 tax bill coming his way. That's not good. So very, very important. You gotta do it every year. That's that disciplined approach, right? And then this one's also right. So let's say, well, I've retired and now I want to. I'm going to go back to work here, right? So I don't need this money coming in. Wrong. Can't do that. If you go back to work, you must continue. So that's a pitfall, right? Because now remember you're drawing down your retirement nest egg, okay? And you're going back to work. So you got to be this strategy is a bridge that's there. I would highly recommend you don't do it on your own. Work with your financial advisor because of all the penalties and things like that. And you're going to have to be very committed to this if that's something you want to do, especially if you're going to go back to work, miss these penalties. So I just wanted to show you that there is a bridge to get you that early railroad retirement, for those who don't want to work anymore and waiting to get their railroad retirement annuity turned on. So I hope you found this helpful. Reach out to me if you want to discuss this, or if you're nearing retirement and you want to talk about going through the boarding for railroad retirement process. Really great information that you'll get on what your retirement income is going to look like in railroad retirement, or even if you're in retirement. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell, get the latest video. And until next time, everyone, please stay safe, stay on track, and take care. So long, everybody. Bye.